Good afternoon, everyone. This is Gerald Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, June 5, 2023. That's at 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. The understanding of family and the social structure of the planet and the function of family. Now, it may sound strange to some people because we're so in the habit of it for thousands of years. But man has outgrown the family. The utility of the family is finished. It has lived too long. It is one of the most ancient institutions, so only very perceptive people, very, very perceptive people can see that it is dead already. It will take time for others to recognize the fact that the family is dead. It has done its work. It is no longer relevant in the new context of things. It is no longer relevant for the new humanity that is just being born. The family has been good and bad. It has been a help. Man has survived through it. And it has been very harmful because it has corrupted the human mind. But there was no alternative in the past. There was no way to choose anything else. It was a necessary evil that need not be so in the future. The future can have alternative styles. Now, this is an understanding, is that the future is not going to be one fixed pattern. It will have many, many, many alternative styles. If a few people still choose to have a family, they should have the freedom to have it. It will be a very small percentage. There are families on the earth, very rare, not more than 1%, that are really beautiful, that are really beneficial, in which growth happens, in which there is no authority, no power trip, no possessiveness, in which children are not destroyed, in which the wife is not trying to destroy the husband and the husband is not trying to destroy the wife. Where love is and freedom is, where people have gathered together just out of joy, not for other motives, where there is no politics. These kinds of families have existed on earth. They are still there. For these people, there is no need to change. In the future, they can continue to live in families. But for the greater majority, the family is an ugly thing. You can ask the psychoanalysts, and they will say that all kinds of mental diseases arise out of the family. All kinds of psychoses, neuroses arise out of the family. The family creates a very, very, very ill human being. In most cases, there is no need. Alternative styles should be possible. Now, one alternative style is and people look at this kind of funny, is the commune, right? Commune means people living in a liquid family. Children belong to the commune. They belong to all. There is no personal property, no personal ego. A man lives with a woman because they feel like living together, because they cherish it. They enjoy it. The moment they feel that love is no longer happening, they don't go on clinging to each other. They say goodbye with all gratitude, with all friendship, and they start moving with other people. The only problem in the past was what to do with the children in a commune. Children can belong to the commune, and that will be far better. They will have more opportunities to grow with many more kinds of people. Otherwise, a child grows up with the mother. For years, the mother and the father are the only two images of human beings for him or her. Naturally, they start imitating them. Children turn out to be imitators of their fathers, and they perpetuate the same kind of illness in the world as their parents did. They become carbon copies. It is very destructive, and there is no way for the children to do something else. They don't have any other source of information. If 100 people live together in a commune, there will be many male members, many female members. The child need not get fixed and obsessed with one pattern of life. The child can learn from his father. He can learn from his uncles. He can learn from all the men in the community. He will have a bigger soul. Families crush people and give them very little souls. In the community, the child will have a bigger soul. He will have more possibilities. He will be far more enriched in his being. He will see many women. He will not have one idea of a woman. It is very destructive to have only one single idea of a woman. Because throughout your whole life, you will be searching and searching and searching for your mother. Because throughout your whole life, you will be searching and searching and searching for your mother. Whenever you fall in love with a woman, watch. There is every possibility that you have found someone that is similar to your mother. And that may be the thing that you should have avoided. Each child is angry with his mother. The mother has to prohibit many things. The mother has to say no. It cannot be avoided. Even a good mother sometimes has to say no and restrict and deny. The child feels rage and anger. He hates the mother and loves the mother. He also, because she is his survival, his source of life and energy. So he hates the mother and loves the mother together. And that becomes the pattern. You will love the woman, you will hate the same woman, and you don't have any other kind of choice. You will always go on searching unconsciously for your mother. And that happens to women also. They go on searching for their father. Their whole life is a search to find dad as a husband. Now, your dad is not the only person in the world. The world is far richer. And in fact, if you can find a dad, you will not be happy. You can be happy with a beloved, with a lover, not with your daddy. If you can find your mother, you will not be happy with her. You know her already. There is nothing else to explore. That is familiar already. And familiarity breeds contempt. You should search for something new, but you don't have any image. In a commune, a child will have a richer soul. He will know many women. He will know many men. He will not be addicted to one or two persons. The family creates an obsession in you, and the obsession is against humanity. If your father is fighting with somebody, and you see he is wrong, that doesn't matter. You have to be with the father and on his side. Just as people say, wrong or right, my country is my country. So they say, my father is my father, right or wrong. My mother is my mother. I have to be with her, otherwise it will be a betrayal. This situation teaches us to be unjust. We can see our mother is wrong, and she is fighting with the neighbor, and the neighbor is right. But you have to be with the mother. This is the learning of an unjust life. In a commune, you will not be attached too much to one family. There will be no family to be attached to. You will be more free, less obsessed. You will be more just. And you will have love from many sources, and you will feel that life is loving. The family reaches you a kind of conflict with society. It teaches you a kind of conflict with society, with other families and with other families. The family demands a monopoly. It asks you to be for it and against all others. You have to be in the service of the family. You have to go on fighting for the name and the fame of the family. The family teaches you ambition, conflict, aggression. In a commune, you will be less aggressive. You will be more at ease with the world because you have known so many people. So instead of the family, it would be nice to see a commune where all will be friends. Even husbands and wives should not be more than friends. Their marriage should be just an agreement between the two. They have decided to be together because they are happy together. See, marriage, in our structure currently in this very now, marriage is so conflicting, so suppressive. It really is. And you can see it, and you can feel it in your heart mind's vibrational frequency. It's not a judgment, it is an understanding. Their marriage should just be an agreement between the two of them. They have decided to be together because they're happy together. The moment even one of them decides that unhappiness is settling, then they separate. There is no need for any divorce because there is no marriage. There is no divorce. One lives spontaneously. When you live miserably, by and by you become habituated to misery. Never for a single moment should one tolerate any misery. It may have been good to live with a man in the past and joyful, but if it is no longer joyful, when you have to get out of it, you then have to get out of it. And then there is no need to get angry and destructive. And there is no need to carry a grudge because nothing can be done about love. Love is like a breeze. You see, it just comes. If it is there, it is there. Then it is gone. And when it is gone, it is gone. Love is a mystery. You cannot manipulate it. Love should not be manipulated. Love should not be legalized. Love should not be forced for no reason at all. In a commune, people will be living together just out of the sheer joy of being together, for no other reason. And when the joy has disappeared, they part. Maybe it feels sad, but they have no part. Maybe the nostalgia of the past still lingers in the mind, but they have no part. They have to part. They owe it to each other that they should not live in misery. Otherwise, misery becomes a habit. They part with heavy hearts, but with no grudge. They will seek other partners. In the future, there will be no marriage as it has been in the past, and no divorce as it has been in the past. Life will be more liquid, more trusting. There will be more trust in the mysteries of life than in the clarities of the law. More trust in life itself than in anything. The court, the police, the priest, the church, and the children should belong to all. They should not carry the badges of their family. They will belong to the commune. The commune will take care of them. They will be the most revolutionary step in human history. This will be. For people to start living in communes and to start being truthful, honest, trusting, and to go on dropping the law more and more. In a family, love appears sooner or later. In the first place, it may not have been there at all from the very beginning. It may have been an arranged marriage for other motives, for money, for power, prestige. There may not have been any love from the very beginning. Then children are born out of a wedlock that is more like a deadlock. Children are born out of no love. From the very beginning, they become deserts. And this no-love state in the house makes them dull and unloving. They learn their first lesson of life from their parents, and the parents are unloving. And there is constant jealousy, the fighting and anger. And the children go on seeing the ugly faces of their parents. Their very hope is destroyed. They can't believe that love is going to happen in their life if it has not happened in their parents' lives. And they see other parents, other families also. Children are very perceptive, as we all know. We were all one at one time. They go on looking all around and observing. When they see that there is no possibility of love, they start feeling that love is only in poetry. It exits only for poets. It exists only for poets, visionaries. It has no actuality in life. And once you have learned the idea that love is just poetry, then it will never happen because you have become closed to it. To see it happen is the only way to let it happen later on in your own life. If you see your father and mother in deep love, in great love, caring for each other, with compassion for each other, with respect for each other, then you have seen love happening. Hope arises. A seed falls into your heart and starts growing. You know it is going to happen to you too. If you have not seen it, how can you believe it is going to happen? If you cannot see it, how can you believe it is going to happen to you too? If it didn't happen to your parents, how can it happen to you? In fact, you will do everything to prevent it happening to you. Otherwise, it will look like a betrayal of your parents. This is an observation of people. Women go on saying, deep in the unconscious, look, Mom, I'm suffering as much as you suffered. Boys go on saying to themselves later on, Dad, don't be worried. My life is as miserable as yours. I have not gone beyond you. I have not betrayed you. I remain the same miserable person you were. I carry the chain, the tradition. I am your representative. Dad, I have not betrayed you. Look, I'm doing the same thing as you used to do to my mother. I'm doing it to the mother of my children. And what you used to do to me, I am doing to my children. I am bringing them up in the same way you brought me up. Now, the very idea of bringing up children is nonsense. You can help at the most. You cannot bring them up. The very idea of building up children is nonsense. Not only nonsense, but it's very harmful, immensely harmful. You cannot build. A child is not a thing. Not like a building. A child is like a tree. And yes, you can help. You can prepare soil. You can put in fertilizers. You can water. You can watch whether sun reaches the plant or not. That's all. But it is not that you are building up the plant. It is coming up on its own. You can help, but you cannot bring it up, and you cannot build it up. Children are immense mysteries. The moment you start building them up, the moment you start creating patterns and characters around them, you are imprisoning them. They will never be able to forgive you. But this is the only way they will learn, and they will do the same thing to their children, and so on. Each generation goes on giving its neurosis to the new people that come to the earth, and the society persists with all its madness and misery. And no, a different kind of thing is needed now. Man has come of age, and the family is a thing of the past. It really has no future. The commune will be the thing that can replace the family, and it will be far more beneficial. But in a commune, only meditative people can be together. Only when you know how to celebrate life can you be together. Only when you know that space that is called meditation, can you be together. Can you be loving? The old nonsense of monopolizing love has to be dropped. Only then can you live in a commune. If you go on carrying your old ideas of monopoly, that your woman should not hold somebody else's hand and your husband should not laugh with anybody else, if you carry these nonsensical things in your mind, then you cannot become part of a commune. If your husband is laughing with somebody else, it is good. Your husband is laughing. Laughter is always good. With whom it happens doesn't matter. Laughter is good. Laughter is a value. If your woman is holding somebody else's hand, good. Warmth is flowing. The flow of warmth is good. It is a value. When whom it is happening is immaterial. And if it is happening to your woman with many people, it will go on happening with you too. If it has stopped happening with anybody else, then it is going to stop with you too. The whole old idea is so stupid. It is as if the moment your husband goes out, you say to him, don't breathe anywhere else. When you come home, you can breathe as much as you want, but only when you are with me can you breathe. Outside, hold your breath, become a yogi. I don't want you to breathe anywhere else. Now, this looks stupid, but then why should love not be like breathing? Love is breathing. Breathing is the life of the body, and love is the life of the soul. It is far more important than breathing. And now, when your husband goes out, you make it a point that he should not laugh with anybody else, at least not with any other woman. He should not be loving to anybody else. So for 23 hours, he is unloving. And then for 1 hour, when he is in bed with you, he pretends to love. You have killed his love. It is flowing no more. If for 23 hours he has to remain a yogi, holding his love, afraid to do, think he can relax suddenly for 1 hour, it is impossible. You destroy the man. You destroy the woman. And then you are fed up, bored. Then you start feeling, he does not love me. And it is you who created the whole thing. Then he starts feeling that you don't love him. And you are no longer as happy as you used to be before. When people meet on a beach, right? When they meet in a garden, when they are on a date, nothing is settled and everything is liquid. Both are very happy. Why? Because they are free. The bird on the wing is one thing. The same bird in a cage is another thing. They are happy because they are free. Man cannot be happy without freedom. And your old family structures destroyed freedom. And because it destroyed freedom, it destroyed happiness. It destroyed love. It has been a kind of survival measure. And yes, it has somehow protected the body, but it has destroyed the soul. Now there is no need for it. We have to protect the soul too. That is far more essential and far more important. There is no future for the family, not in the sense that it has been understood up to now. There is a future for love and love relationships. Husband and wife are going to become ugly and dirty words. And whenever you monopolize the woman or the man, naturally you monopolize the children also. I think all parents are potential child abusers because the basic way of raising children is through power and authority. I think it is destructive when many parents have the idea, it is my kid. I can do what I want to do with my kid. It is violent. It is destructive. A child is not a thing. It is not a chair. It is not a car. You cannot do whatsoever you want to do with him or her. He comes through you, but he does not belong to you. He belongs to existence. You are at the most a caretaker. Don't become possessive. But the whole family idea is of one possession. Possess property. Possess the woman. Possess the man. Possess the children. And possessiveness is poison. But I'm not saying that those who are really happy in their families, flowing, alive, loving, have to destroy it. There's no need. Their family is already a commune, a small commune. And of course, a bigger commune will be far better, with more possibilities, more people. Different people bring different songs. Different people bring different lifestyles. Different people bring different breezes. Different people bring rays, different rays of light. And children should be showered with as many different lifestyles as possible so they can choose, so they can have the freedom to choose. And they should be enriched by knowing, so many women, that they are not obsessed by the mother's face or the mother's style. Then they will be able to love many more women, many more men. Life will be more of an adventure. And I'm telling you right now, this civilization on this planet is facing extinction, not by all the things that are happening, okay? You would think so, but it's not. It's that because of the family, an extinction of civilization is, for instance, in Japan, it is already done because there's not enough babies. Why? Because of the social structure. Why is that? Because of how people view things and how they've been trained for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. A mother visiting a department store took her son to the toy department, spying a gigantic rocking horse. He climbed upon it and rocked back and forth for almost an hour. "Come on, son," the mother pleaded. "I have to go home to get your father's dinner ready." The little lad refused to budge, and all her efforts were unavailing. The department store manager also tried to coax the little fellow without meeting with any success. Eventually, in desperation, they called for the store psychiatrist. Gently, he walked over and whispered a few words in the boy's ear, and immediately the lad jumped off and ran to his mother's side. "How did he do it?" the mother asked incredulously. "What did you say to him?" The psychiatrist hesitated for a moment and then said, "All I said was, if you don't jump off the rocking horse at once, son, I will knock the stuffing out of you." People learn sooner or later that fear works, that authority works, that power works. And children are so helpless, and they are so dependent on the parents that you can make them afraid. It becomes your technique to exploit them and oppress them, and they have nowhere to go. In a commune, they will have many places to go. They will have many uncles. They'll have many aunts and many people. They will not be so helpless. They will not be in your hands as much as they are right now. They will have more independence, less helplessness. You will not be able to coerce them so easily. And that they see in the home is misery. That all they see in the home is misery. Sometimes, yes, I know, sometimes the husband and wife are loving, but whenever they are loving, it is always in private. Children don't know about it. Children see only the ugly faces and the ugly side. When the mother and father are loving, they are loving behind closed doors. They keep quiet. They never allow the children to see what love is. The children see only their conflict, nagging, fighting, hitting each other in gross and subtle ways, insulting each other, humiliating each other. Children go on seeing what is happening. A man is sitting in his living room, reading the newspaper, when his wife comes over and slaps him. "What was that for?" asked the indignant husband. "That's for being a lousy lover." A little while later, the husband goes over to where the wife is, sitting watching TV. He gives her a resounding smack. "What was that for?" she yelled at him. To which he answered, "For knowing the difference." This goes on and on and on, and the children go on watching what is happening in this life. Is this what life is meant for? Is this all there is? They start losing hope. Before they enter into life, they are already failures. They have accepted failure. If their parents, who are so wise and powerful, cannot succeed, what hope is there for them? It is impossible. And they have learned the tricks of being miserable, tricks of being aggressive. Children never see love happening. In a commune, there will be more possibilities. Love should come out into the open a little more. People should know that love happens. Small children should know what love is. They should see people caring for each other. But it is a very ancient idea and an old idea that you can fight in public, but you cannot be loving in public. Fight is okay. You can murder. That is allowed. In fact, when two persons are fighting, a crowd will stand there to see what is happening, and everybody will enjoy it. That's why people go on reading and enjoying murder stories, suspense stories, detective stories. Murder is allowed. Love is not allowed. If you are loving in public, it is thought to be obscene. If you are loving in public, it is thought to be obscene, right? Now, this is absurd. It's absurd. Love is obscene, and murder is not obscene? Lovers are not to be loving in public, and generals can go on walking in public showing all their medals? These are the murderers, and these medals are for the murder. Those medals show how much they have murdered, how many people they have killed. That is not obscene? That should be the obscene thing. Nobody should be allowed to fight in public. It is obscene. Violence is obscene. How can love be obscene? But love is thought to be obscene. And you have to hide it in darkness. And you have to make love so nobody knows. You have to make it so silently, so stealthily. Naturally, you can't enjoy it much. And people don't become aware of what love is. Children particularly have no way of knowing what love is. In a better world, with more understanding, love will be all over. Children will see what caring is. Children will see what joy is. And what joy it brings when you care for somebody. Love should be accepted more. Violence should be rejected more. Love should be available more. Two persons making love should not be worried that no one should know. They should laugh. They should sing. They should scream in joy so that the whole neighborhood knows that somebody is being loving to somebody. Somebody is making love. Love should be such a gift. Love should be so divine. It is sacred. You can publish a book about a man being killed. That's okay. That's not pornography to me. That is pornography. You cannot publish a book about a man lovingly holding a woman in deep, naked embrace. That is pornography. This world has existed against love up till now. Your family is against love. Your society is against love. Your state is against love. It is a miracle that love has still remained a little. It is unbelievable that love still goes on. Not as it should be. It is just a small drop, not an ocean. But that it has survived so many enemies is a miracle. It has not been destroyed completely. But that it has survived so many enemies is an absolute miracle. It has not been destroyed completely. It is a miracle. A vision of a commune is of loving people living together with no antagonism toward each other, with no competition with each other, with love that is fluid, more available, with no jealousy and no possession. And the children will belong to all because they belong to existence. Everybody takes care of them. And they are such beautiful people, these children, who will not take care of them. And they have so many possibilities to see so many people loving, and each person lives in his own way. They will become more rich. And I tell you that if these children exist in this world, none of them will read Playboy. There will be no need. And none of them will read Vatsyayana's Kama Sutra. There will be no need. Nude pictures will disappear. They simply show starved sex, starved love. The world will become almost non-sexual. It will be so loving. Your priests, your policemen, have created all kinds of obscenity in the world. They are the source of all that is ugly, and your family has played a great part. The family has to disappear. It has to disappear into a bigger vision of a commune, of a life not based on small identities, more floating. And you can label it any way you want: commune, gathering, togetherness. In a commune, somebody will be a Buddhist. Somebody will be a Hindu. Somebody will be a Jaina. Somebody will be a Christian. Somebody will be a Jew. If families disappear, churches will disappear automatically, because families belong to churches. In a commune, there will be all kinds of people, all kinds of religion, all kinds of philosophies floating around, and the child will have the opportunity to learn. One day he goes with one uncle to the church. Another day he goes with another uncle to the temple. And he learns all that is there, and he can have a choice. He can choose and decide to what religion he would like to belong. Nothing is imposed, or no religion. Life can become a paradise here and now. The barriers have to be removed. The family is one of the greatest barriers. Love becomes attachment because there is no love. Right? You were just playing, deceiving yourself. The attachment is the reality. The love was just foreplay. So whenever you fall in love, sooner or later, you discover you have become an instrument. And then the whole misery begins. What is the mechanism? Why does it happen? A man comes and he's feeling very guilty. He said, I loved a woman. I loved her very much. The day she died, I was weeping and crying, but suddenly I became aware of a certain freedom within me, as if some burden had left me. I felt a deep breath, as if I had become free. The moment he became aware of a second layer of his feeling, outwardly, he was weeping and crying and saying, I cannot live without her. Now it will be impossible. Life will be just like death. But deep down, he said, I became aware that I am feeling very good, that now I am free. A third layer began to feel guilt. It said to him, what are you doing? And the dead body was lying there just before him. And he said to me, and he began to feel a great deal of guilt. He said, help me. What has happened to my mind? Have I betrayed her so soon? Nothing has happened. No one has betrayed. When love becomes attachment, it becomes a burden, a bondage. But why does love become an attachment? The first thing to be understood is that if love becomes an attachment, you were just in an illusion that it was love. You were just fooling yourself and thinking that this was love. Really? You were in need of attachment, and if you go still deeper, you will find that you were also in need of becoming a slave. There is a subtle fear of freedom, and everyone wants to be a slave. Everyone, of course, talks about freedom, but no one has the courage to be really free, because when you are really free, you are alone. If you have the courage to be alone, then only can you be free. But no one is courageous enough to be alone. You need someone. Why do you need someone? You are afraid of your own loneliness. You become bored with yourself. And really, when you are lonely, nothing seems meaningful. With someone, you are occupied, and you create artificial meanings around you. You cannot live for yourself, so you start to live for someone else. And the same is the case with the someone else also. He or she cannot live alone, so he is in search to find someone. Two persons who are afraid of their own loneliness come together, and they start a play. a play of love. But deep down, they are searching for attachment, commitment, bondage. So sooner or later, whatsoever you desire happens. This is one of the most unfortunate things in this world. Whatsoever you desire comes to happen. You will get it sooner or later, and the foreplay will disappear. And when its function is done, it will disappear. When you have become a wife and a husband, slaves to each other, when marriage has happened, love will disappear because love was just an illusion in which two persons could become slaves to each other. Understand, when you look at the facts on this planet, in this country alone, the massive amount of divorce rates, the decline of the population of babies, it is literally showing itself to be what I am describing. It's not something made up. It is proof positive when you look at this from the standpoint of viewing and not judging. You are looking at something that is no longer needed. Directly, you cannot ask for slavery. It's too humiliating. And directly, you cannot say to someone, become my slave. He will revolt or she will revolt. Nor can you say, I want to become a slave to you. So you say, I cannot live without you. But the meaning is there. It is the same. And then when this, the real desire, is fulfilled, love disappears. Then you feel bondage. Then you feel slavery. Then you start struggling to become free. Remember this. It is one of the paradoxes of the mind. Whatsoever you get, you will get bored with. And whatsoever you do not get, you will long for. All right? Remember this. It is one of the paradoxes of the mind. Whatsoever you get, you will get bored with. Whatsoever you do not get, you will long for. When you are alone, you will long for some slavery, some bondage. When you are in bondage, you will begin to long for freedom. Really, only slaves long for freedom. And free people try again to be slaves. And the mind goes on like a pendulum, moving from one extreme to the other. Love doesn't become attachment. Attachment was the need. Love was just the bait. You were in search of a fish named attachment. Love was just the bait to catch the fish. When the fish is caught, the bait is thrown. Remember this. And whenever you are doing something, go deep within yourself to find out the basic cause. If there is real love, it will never become attachment. What is the mechanism for love to become attachment? The moment you spy or you say to your lover or beloved, love only me, you have started possessing. And the moment you possess someone, you have insulted him or her deeply because you have made him or her into a thing. When I possess you, you are not a person then, but just one more item amongst my furniture, a thing. Then I use you, and you are my thing, my possession. So I won't allow anyone else to use you. It is a bargain in which I am possessed by you, and you make me a thing. It is the bargain that now no one else can use you. Both partners feel bound, and enslaved. I make a slave of you, then you in return make a slave of me. Then the struggle starts. I want to be a free person, and I still want you to be possessed by me. You want to retain your freedom and still possess me. This is the struggle. If I possess you, I will be possessed by you. If I do not want to be possessed by you, I should not possess you. Possession should not come in between. We must choose to remain individuals, and we must move as independent, free consciousness. We can come together when we merge into each other, but no one possesses. Then there is no bondage. Then there is no attachment. Attachment is one of the ugliest things. And when I say ugliest, I do not mean only religiously. I mean aesthetically also. When you are attached, you have lost your aloneness. You have lost everything. Just, just to feel good that someone needs you and someone is with you, you have lost everything. You have lost yourself. But the trick is that you try to be independent and you make the other a possession. And the other is doing the same. So do not possess if you do not want to be possessed. Jesus said somewhere, judge ye not, so that ye should not be judged. It is the same. Possess ye not, so that ye should not be possessed. Do not make anyone a slave. Otherwise, you will become a slave. I join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And take an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. The goal of the spiritual path is to become fully conscious. This means to explore what is unconscious or hidden from your plain view. For today, allow whatever you don't want to look at or see within rise to the surface to be seen, felt, heard, and loved. Get out a piece of paper and pen and continue writing whatever feelings arise to the surface. Do not stop writing for 30 minutes, even if it's the same words over and over. Continue letting go of whatever is inside you on the paper, releasing it from your unconscious mind. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning, and we will return here Tuesday, June 6, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude at all times. And you will definitely experience a major shift, no matter what's going on around you.